The sound comes first not as a noise but as a vibration in the hollow of the sternum. Cal feels it before he hears it. A deep resonant thrum that travels through the damp soil and up the trunk of the ginkgo tree he leans against. His small gracile body is a living sensor honed by 1,000 generations of fear. He freezes his work on a piece of flint forgotten. His eyes darkened intelligence scan the wall of giant ferns that chokes the forest floor. The air thick with the smell of wet earth and decay holds its breath with him. This is the hum of contentment, the low melodious call of the Parasaurolophus. A low PHS herd grazing in the sun-dappled clearing to the west. It is the sound of safety. His clan, a small troop of Homo Habilis, understands this music as intimately as they know the shape of their own hands. It is the foundation of their entire existence. The great crested beasts are their unwitting sentinels, their survival tied to the complex crest-amplified calls that echo through the jungle. Kale and the others have learned the language not of words but of warnings. The gentle rolling hum is peace. A sharp singular blast is a territorial dispute. But the one they dread, the one that can send a sleeping child into a silent waking terror, is the rapid percussive alarm that means a hunt has begun. They live and breathe by this borrowed sense, a shield of sound woven from the throats of giants. These are the acoustics of survival in a world of prehistoric life where early humans are little more than nervous prey. Suddenly the hum changes. It tightens, rising in pitch before shattering into a series of panic staccato bursts. Kale doesn't hesitate. He drops the flint and brings two fingers to his mouth, letting out a sharp clicking sound, a copy of a cicada, meaningless to a predator but a clear signal to his kin. The effect is instantaneous. In a small smoke-filled cave behind him, movement becomes a symphony of silent panic. Lena, the old mother, snatches a sleeping infant from its fur wrap, her face a mask of practiced urgency. Two males, broader and scarred, grab sharpened thigh bones of a long-dead beast, their primitive technology against a world of keratin, no US armor and serrated teeth. They are not warriors, they are survivors, and their greatest weapon is the knowledge that they are never ever safe. They move with the fluid efficiency of a colony of ants, disappearing into the deepest, narrowest fissure at the back of their cave, a space too small for any true predator to follow. From the mouth of the cave, Kale watches the crested giants. They are agitated, their magnificent heads held high, swiveling as they trumpet their fear into the humid air. The alarm is high-pitched and frantic. That means a pack. It means speed and teeth. It means the Utahraptor are on the move again. He cannot see them, but he doesn't need to. The sentinels see for him. He feels a grim satisfaction in their shared terror. For all their size and power, the great beasts are also prey. Their fear is the clan's shield. They are the small, soft ears of a giant, and if you wish to hear the whispers that precede the world's teeth, you must learn to listen with a giant's bones. This is the most crucial of their survival skills, the art of listening to the world's heartbeat. The sky does not darken with evening, but with a bruised greenish-purple stain spreading from the east. The wind arrives first, a low moan that becomes a physical presence staring at the giant ferns and whipping Kale's matted hair across his face. The air grows cold, thick with the scent of ozone and crushed vegetation. Then the rain begins. Not as a drizzle, but as a solid wall of water that hits the jungle canopy with a roar like a collapsing mountain. The sound is absolute, a deafening percussive onslaught that erases the world. Cal presses himself against the slick stone of the cave mouth, straining to hear. The frantic trumpeting of the Parasaurolophus becomes frayed, shredded by the gale, until it vanishes entirely, swallowed by the storm's fury. The shield is broken. The world beyond their small shelter is now a blank slate of sound, a perfect hunting ground for those who see with their eyes and not their ears. In the deep gloom, a new kind of silence descends upon the clan, a silence born of overwhelming noise. The familiar rhythms of prehistoric life are gone. They are deaf-blind and utterly alone. Old Lina's knuckles are white where she grips the infant, her own breathing lost in the tempest. This is a primal fear their ancestors knew, a return to a time before their kind had learned to borrow the senses of giants. It is a terrifying regression in their brief and brutal hominid history. For the predators who stalk this jungle, the storm is not a catastrophe, it is a gift. It is acoustic cover. Out in the deluge, the Utahraptors move with a liquid predatory grace that the rain cannot hinder. They are a nightmare of evolutionary perfection, larger and more robust than the later Velociraptor that would haunt the epoch to come. Their sickle-minus claws, held aloft like a surgeon's instruments, are clean in the washing rain. Their eyes widened and a vinglum intelligent survey the landscape, searching for the tail-minus-tail signs of their prey's terror. They had been stalking the herd, but the storm offered a greater opportunity. They know the small, clever apes shelter in the rocks nearby. They have watched them, studied them. Now with the herd scattered and the jungle's alarm system offline, the apes are merely meat trapped in a stone box. The pack communicates not with calls that the wind would steal, but with subtle shifts in posture, a flick of a feathered tail, a low hiss that carries no further than a few feet. Their pack tactics are a silent language of death. Kale smells it first. Through the overwhelming scent of rain and wet earth, a faint foul odor cuts through the coppery, musky scent of a carnivore. His heart hammers against his ribs. He backs away from the cave mouth, his silent warning a wide minor-side stare that communicates more than any sound could. The two males raise their sharpened bones, their faces grim. The hard choice is no longer a choice, it is an inevitability. There is nowhere left to run. A shadow detaches itself from the deeper shadows of the storm-tree line. It is low, patient, undoubtedly lethal. A single raptor, its head cocked, peers into the mouth of their sanctuary. Its unblinking eye, a slit of obsidian malice, fixes on them. It is not attacking. It is observing, reporting. The hunt has come to them. The scout's retreat is not a retreat at all, it is a signal. From the churning chaos of the storm, two more shapes emerge, flanking the first. The clan's desperate use of their osteodontokeratic technology is about to be tested. The Utahraptors attack with the brutal synchronicity of a nightmare. The lead animal fights, drawing the attention of the two males, Torg and Dren, at the narrow entrance. As their sharpened bones jab forward, the other to strike from the sides, their sickle-minus claws slicing through the rain-soaked hair. It is a terrifying display of predatory intelligence, a dinosaur battle fought not with brute force, but with lethal geometry. Ren cries out a sharp gasp of pain as a claw tears a deep gash in his shoulder. He stumbles back, but Torg holds the line, his broad body a plug of desperate flesh and bone in the stone throat of their home. He roars a sound of pure, hopeless defiance, stabbing blindly at the blurs of motion. But the raptors are too fast, their attacks too precise. One lunges, its powerful jaws snapping shut on the bone spear, ripping it from Tuagi's grasp. He has disarmed his life, now measured in heartbeats. It is in this moment of utter despair that the clan's true strength ignites. From the back of the cave, old Lena moves with a speed that belies her age. She snatches a burning log from the fire pit, a cascade of glowing embers trailing behind her. The flame is small, sputtering in the damp air, but it is a piece of the sun held in a mortal hand. She shoves the brand into Kale's grasp. He understands instantly. While Torg and the bleeding Ren create a wall of bodies, Kale scrambles forward. He doesn't thrust the brand like a spear. He mimics the storm. He swings it in a wide wild arc, sending a spray of fiery sparks into the face of the lead raptor. The creature shrieks a high-pitched alien sound of pain and confusion and recoils violently. It has faced teeth and claws its entire life, but fire is a language it does not know. It is a pain from another world, a weapon born of thought, not instinct. Seeing their leaders panic, the others hesitate. Their perfect coordination is broken. This is the only chance they will get. Kale screams a rope primal sound torn from his own throat, not a call of fear but a roar of command. He is no longer just hiding behind the calls of dinosaurs, he is making his own. Torg, seeing the opening, grabs a heavy stone and brings it down on the ankle of the nearest raptor, earning a sickening crack of bone and another shriek of agony. The crippled animal threshes, becoming a liability to its pack. The hunt is now too costly. With a final hateful hiss, the pack leader gives the signal and they melt back into the storm, dragging their injured member with them, leaving only the smell of blood and scorched feathers. In the aftermath, the roar of the storm seems muted, replaced by the ragged sound of their own breathing. The cave is a mess of blood, mud, and a lingering scent of fear. Torg nurses a shattered hand and Ren's shoulder bleeds freely, but they are alive. The infant begins to cry, a fragile human sound in a world that had tried to silence it. They have survived. But something more profound has happened. Stripped of their borrowed senses, they were forced to listen to themselves to find a strength they never knew they possessed. They discovered that a thinking pack armed with fire and stone and a desperate love for its own could turn back the teeth of the world. This brutal night was more than a defense, it was a declaration. These ancient humans, these small soft human ancestors, had found their own voice, their own roar. The storm that was meant to be their tomb became the forge of a new and terrible self. Minus reliance, a crucial, unsung moment in the long, violent story of human evolution. This is the bedrock of our own improbable existence. The courage to survive is not merely the instinct to run or hide. It is the audacity to stand in the mouth of the cave, in the heart of the storm, and draw back at the darkness. It is the moment a species decides it will not be defined by its fears but by its defiance. And in the deep quiet that follows the thunder, you can almost hear the question echoing down through the millennia: what predator did we become when we learned that we too could make the monsters afraid? In the chronicles of a world that should have erased them, they are the echo that refused to fade. But the jungle listens, and something larger than the raptors has now learned the scent of fire.